Mwiriwe, Jambo, hola, ¿cómo estás? Bonjour, qu'est-ce qu'on va faire? Good morning, good evening, wherever you are in any part of the world. I welcome you once again back to Medwell Podcast. Today you are with your favorite host, Réponse Aurore, Ishimeni Gilanginshuti, once again on a new episode. It's been a long time, but I know that you're going to absolutely love this new episode. Today, I am with a special guest, a guest of honor, Dr. Eric Twizeyimana. How are you feeling?
I'm good.
Okay, today is Saturday, right?
Yes.
It's been a long week, or maybe even a new month. How can you describe this week or this month so far? Maybe in 2 words.
Productive and a bit stressful.
A bit stressful? How has it been stressful? You can explain to us. Maybe.
Yeah, because I was doing work, my usual work, and also I was working on my project because I had a lot of activities that had to be completed this week before the week ends.
Okay, maybe most of the viewers can relate. That is why stressful many activities corresponds to his bio. He is a physician who is passionate about global health equity and social justice with focus on global surgery, trauma, and emergency care. So that is why today we are going to focus more on domestic injuries corresponding to the trauma, corresponding to emergency care that he has focused more in his studies. He also experiences in health research, education, and youth empowerment through student-led initiatives. When we talk about student-led initiatives, like which initiatives have you contributed more through your research? You can maybe inform the viewers, they need to know.
Okay, thank you for the question. Actually, my contribution started when I was also a student. I participated in different student initiatives. We used to have projects where we used to go in the community to teach given topics depending on what was alarming in that areas. To be specific, we had some project about the infectious diseases, communicable diseases. We had some for non-communicable diseases. We had some sessions on menstrual hygiene management. All those conducted by students reach out to different communities, raising awareness to those conditions so that we make sure that the communities around the campus, they stay or they can benefit from the students, not waiting the time they graduate to start feel they are there with them.
Okay, thank you so much. That is very amazing. I've heard that you have contributed in infectious disease, non-communicable disease, malaria maybe, but you have specifically chosen to tackle on the domestic injuries. Out of all that you have passed through, maybe pathology, even other fields that you could have focused more on, but you chose domestic injuries. Who inspired you? What inspired you? What attracted you to that field?
Okay, thank you. This was part of my continuous work. So basically, I started with the studies. I had an exposure to this particular area during my studies. I did an MGHD, Masters of Global Health Delivery at UGHE, and later on I did a Masters of Science in Trauma Science. And then I got an interest to have a career in global surgery, focusing on trauma or injuries. So then there is a program that is run by Operation Smile, University of Global Health Equity, and Kafupolis Institute. They run 2 programs. There's Global Surgery Advocacy Fellowship and then Global Surgery Certificate course. So I'm in the fellowship. So in the fellowship, we implement different projects, advocacy projects. So you identify a problem in your surroundings where you feel like you can do something about it. Advocacy is all about having an action that is intended to solve an issue, that is intended to amplify someone's voice, or just make people aware that this problem is there. We can do something so that we can alleviate some suffering to different communities. So that's why I chose to focus on domestic injuries, because in general, when we talk about injuries, most people will understand road traffic accidents since they are the most prevalent in many countries. Even in Rwanda, we have different campaigns that are addressing the road traffic accidents. When we try to see the ratio of male to females, you will find that males are like 3 times females, like they risk to be involved in the road traffic accidents. So that's why you will find more projects that are focusing on that. On the other side, we have domestic injuries. These are most common in women and children. And then since the most common injuries are road traffic accidents, we tend to pull all the attention to road traffic accidents, and domestic injuries are left behind. And the fellowship is about advocacy. So that's why I chose to advocate for that. If we are talking about injuries, we need also to include the domestic injuries so that we can make our mothers, our children, our siblings, our cousins be aware of them and know how to prevent them, so that we can decrease the disabilities or other different sufferings that they are facing right now.
Okay. You have you have talked more of domestic injuries being neglected because the statistics or the numbers are lower comparing to the road accidents or even other accidents. Do you think it is the only reason why it's overlooked and left behind, and the road accidents or traffic accidents are only projected, only seen? Do you think it's the only reason, or there are other reasons that are behind it?
Yeah, basically there are other reasons. These domestic injuries are easy to prevent.
Okay.
Yeah, it's easy because they happen at home. It's easy to have a well organized home. You know where you place things. You know how to prevent your kids to get different injuries. So it's easy. You can prevent them. Even if you have them, it's easy to get care around you. That's sometimes when you are involved in a road traffic accident, you can get a very serious injury that will require you to be admitted even in intensive care
Surgeries,
unit.
yes.
Yeah, you will just need some surgeries and different complicated procedures.
Yes.
But when at home, you are not exposed to very serious injuries as in road traffic accident, but you are still exposed. You can get permanent disability from that, depending on the extent of the injury, if you are not careful. But these are easily preventable. You can prevent to get like electric shock by avoiding just to insert metals in the sockets,
Yes.
by just avoiding to use the old cables that are damaged. There are a number of different things you can do that to make sure that you are not injured at home, or even to make sure that the people you live with are protected from that. Doesn't mean only you can even prevent the injuries to the people you live with. If you make sure that you are not leaving water around so that anyone can come and slid and then fell, by making sure that if their hot objects are kept in a safe areas where someone who doesn't even understand if this is cold or hot, like children, if you are keeping all those materials in a safe place, that means the kids is less exposed to the burn injuries.
Yes.
And a number of things you can do at home to make it safe. That's where even it came the name of the project, Myself and the Health Community, because it starts with the home and then extends to the neighbors, the community around you can be aware, and you can work together to prevent these injuries.
Yes, you have heard it right. It started when they were telling us that the values start at home, that everything starts at home, but even preventing the injuries is now starting at home from Dr. Eric. Yeah. And then I was I was just thinking as you were saying that the domestic injuries are easy to prevent. And that is why they're mostly overlooked. I remembered something in primary or even in class, even right now, even in university. There are some questions that you think of, even when you are like passing through your book and then see like a question which is asking, name 5 parts of your body. And you'll be like, oh, this is so easy. This is so easy. I know I have a body. I can just enumerate them, hands, feet. But then when you reach on the exam and they ask you the same question, you be like, what again? What is this again? Like you take it to be so easy, but when you are facing it, it might be so hard for you to pass through. So thank you so much for like focusing more on this field when most of the people have actually tried to neglect it and leave it behind. So I'm also curious, in this field, which is highly neglected, it must have some myths or facts behind it. What do you think are most of the myths? Let's start from the myths. As a usually neglected field, from the myths, what are the myths that are there in the village or in the community about domestic injuries?
Yeah, for sure, there are a number of those in the communities. You can even start from where you were born, the community that raised you. There are different myths about specifically these domestic injuries. If you give an example on burns,
Yes.
someone you get a burn, you get a wound, you ask people around you, how can I get rid of this? How can I treat this? People will be giving you a number of items you can use. They'll be saying just put oil, just put sugar, put salt. When you have even a cut, you are just in the kitchen, you have a cut here on the forearm. People will be saying you just put salt, you put the
Honestly.
toothpaste, all those.
Do not do,
Even we have
sorry.
some, even in Rwanda, people will be saying also ufate ubwoya bw'urukwavu uvange
Yes.
n'ivu ry'amakara.
I've actually heard that. Or
Yeah,
maybe they say you're an African. It's going
it's
to
going to hurt
naturally go.
itself.
Yes.
Yeah,
Mm.
and mostly this when it happens to the children, they cannot advocate for themselves. So what is done is what the parents or relatives or any other people in the house choose. So, and then sometimes you will find them coming to the health facilities late. Some have developed some contractures, like the joints are not moving as they should be because they got a burn injury. They applied different herbs. They went
Yes.
to some traditional healers who do not manage well how to treat those, because it doesn't mean traditional medicine is not totally harmful, but
Yes.
it has its limits.
Yes.
There are some conditions that some traditional remedies can help you, but not all.
Not everything.
Specifically for injuries, people need to be careful. Not all injuries can be treated in the traditional medicine.
Yes.
So also some people, they think like getting an injury care is expensive. Someone has just like a simple fracture, there's not even a displacement, or not even, you can't even see the body, just a closed fracture.
Yes.
They think if they go to a nearest health center, they will immediately send them
To
to the
the
hospital
hospital.
and all those. While they can even rule out that there is not even fracture, they give you simple painkillers for just uh, 200 or 300 Rwandan francs, because you have a community-based health insurance that can help you access
Cover
all
all
the
the
essential
expenses.
healthcare
Yes.
services. Yeah, mostly those are for the burn injuries. That's where we have different myths around those wounds from the burns that keep the people delay to seek even rich care. So
Okay.
that's what my project is focusing on. We raise awareness, we teach you these, the common domestic injuries are these. This is how you can prevent them. But if you are unlucky you get one of these are the best practices you can do. If you get a burn, you can do this and then you continue to use the center. You get a wound, you can do this and then these facilities can help you with the rest. It doesn't mean that every injury you get you are going to spend a lot. Actually, you spend a lot when you delay to seek care, because you go there are complications, you start having some disability.
Yes.
And then adjusting that will even cost the facilities a lot of equipment to help you.
Exactly. So facts around domestic injury. You have stated maybe the first one, that the more you delay to tackle the issue of any injury that you have got at home, it's the more it make you spend on it. Is there any other facts that our viewers who want to engage in wellness would like to know? The facts
Yeah,
around them.
yeah, we
Yes.
still have more. If you get a wound,
Mm.
depending on how deep it is, if you don't get a proper treatment, the wound can develop an infection. If it develop an infection, you are at risk you are even at risk of losing that limb. Maybe you have a very huge wound on the arm, you don't get treated, you get infected, you can get amputated. You can lose the whole limb because you delayed to go to the proper treatment. Uh, if you have like a fracture, you don't get well treated, you can end up in a disability and the limb can no longer function as it should, while it could have been even improved when you seek care at an early time. Usually when you seek care, when you have an injury, you seek care at the right time. That means you do not lose a lot on your quality of life. It's just you are helping your body to just recover quickly so that you can resume your work. So the more you delay, the more you are at risk of having all those complications, the more you are losing quality on your like your life.
Okay.
Yeah, even your life expectancy is,
Is
that's complicated math, but
yes.
it's kind of decreasing.
Yes.
Yeah.
Okay. In the beginning of this video, you told us that you can describe this week as productive but also stressful. And then I've got an idea of a question. How is stress or burnout, fatigue, mental exhaustion increasing accidents at home?
That's very easy. Usually accidents at home happens because we are not careful enough, we are not focused enough, we are not controlling every movement we make around home, everything where we place the materials we use at home, where we place different equipments. So when you are stressed, you don't have a full control of everything. You can't remember, I put this knife. You are like at risk of missing different things. So the time you are just looking into that, you can just touch into a knife. You can even forget to switch off the stove, and that's why you are just increasing the risk of getting injured, because you don't have a full control on you and all the things around you. So that means if you are stressed, you still have a lot to do at home. That involving cooking, involving climbing stairs, involving placing things at height, or just taking things from them, and you are not in full control of that because you are stressed, you are thinking too much, you are at risk of just misplacing things, you are at risk of falling because you are not controlling where you are stepping, you are not controlling what amount of heat am I putting in the stove. You can even just step on something mistakenly, you can just fall easily because you are stressed, you don't have full energy. That's stress can increase the risk of getting injured at home.
In Kinyarwanda, our mothers are like to say, There's this umugani that they say
imirimo ibiri
Imibiri.
yananiye impyisi.
Yes, thank you. Thank you so much. Imibiri yananiye impyisi. So that is like what you're trying to say, maybe. That combining two different things, you're stressed, you're thinking about work. As doctors or as medical students, you think of anatomy, physiology, also
And you
trying
still
to
have a
balance.
lot to achieve. You
Yes,
still want
you
to
want
meet this type of
even the
this.
social life. Some are trying to find boyfriends and girlfriends. Others are trying to balance it in sports, everything. Now you get lost. You're losing the plot. So that made me also wonder, throughout your experience or throughout your studies, maybe you used to visit places while studying, or even right now in your experience in the project that you conduct, you have met different cases, different people who have experienced different type of domestic injuries. Is there a certain case that is still like mapped on your mind that you still remember, that has affected maybe that person in a critical way, that you can share to our viewers today?
Yeah, I have one
Please do.
that still crosses my mind. I was working in a hospital.
Yes.
I was not on the duty that day, but I was coming on the duty. And then I heard there was a child at the emergency. Unfortunately, the time I arrived, my colleague was giving me a handover. That child died. She climbed a tree at home. And then when she slid and fell in a fence, you know there are some sharp instrument on the face.
Yes.
That one was like struck in the perineum. And then the neighbors, they don't have like uh, they are not trained in the first aid. They not knowledgeable enough to know what they do. They came like pull the child from that. Like, and yeah, and then it was like all those sharp instrument was making more damage, destroying everything in the child. So the child was bleeding a lot. The time an ambulance was even ready to take her to a referral hospital, the child has already gone. And because it was easy to prevent, maybe it was not easy because the kids are playing a lot, but like that child died from the mistake of those who came to save them. Ideally, those who came to save her made things worse. You know, they could, if they were more knowledgeable, they could have cut that metal, and then the child could have went to the hospital with the metal still inside, and then to be removed by the qualified physicians. And it's like they cause a lot of damage. We cannot blame them a lot because they don't have that knowledge. That's why also I think people who do a lot to teach the communities about the first aid, what can you do when you got injured, or what emergency number to call. Most even people in Rwanda, they don't know that we have a health emergency number. They know the 912. Yes, most people they don't know. Or they even ignore that. Yeah, but you can even call. You have an emergency. They can even give an advice on what to do while you are waiting for an ambulance, for example. Yeah, that case still crosses my mind. So the child couldn't speak for herself. Yeah.
That is so brutal. Like, domestic injuries are most of the time very neglected. You cannot, as right now, if you think of a domestic injury, you cannot immediately think of death. For real. Because I'm shocked right now how the child immediately, like, straight away to death. Maybe most of the people think that domestic injuries only cause small burns or a little cut, and you just let it go, let it slide. But you understand that some of the injuries are very critical and need care and need you to go to the health centers or to the hospitals to take care of them. So as we approach to the end, Dr. Eric, the viewers would like to know, after all the chaos that we have talked about, we have talked about the cases of domestic injuries, we have talked about the myths about domestic injuries, and some of the viewers must be scared that how are you going to get ourselves out of this mess? How are they going to to avoid or prevent or even control them when they actually happen? What are the precautions that they can take?
Okay, what I was saying is every injury has a mechanism how it happens. Usually, all those injuries you can get at home. Most everyone knows how they happen. If you can just feed into any remaining water that is pulled on here on the soil, on just on the let me use another simple example. Everyone, every adult know how you get into a burn injury. Either you touch a hot, you touch in the fire, or something liquids or solid that are hot. They can you touch them, or liquids can fall. They can be pulled on you. So we know all those mechanisms to get an injury. We know that if you are climbing the stairs, there are no fence to touch, and you are not feeling more energetic. You know you can fall. If you are just reaching things that are on a height, you know that you can even not touch when they can fall on you. You can get an injury. Even the fight between people is also an injury, interpersonal violence. You know that if you are not in conflict with someone, it's less likely that someone will come and just hit you at that moment. So by knowing all those mechanisms, that's where we start when we want to prevent something. If you know, I got a ban because I touched there, so that means you will make sure that you don't touch there, or just if that object is at a level that you can reach, you can put in a level that can be reached by someone knowledgeable who can know that I know that there is hot, I'm not going to touch there. And just remove all those hazards for the children. If you know they cannot judge this will harm me or this will not, make sure that they are not left alone with that object, especially the hot water. You will find most children get burn injuries from hot water, hot porridge. That's because they are left alone with all those liquids. If you make sure that in case there is hot water there, you go with the child, or you just make sure you are with those hot liquids with no child around you. And also keep educating each other. You just if you recognize a mistake at home, just tell your friend this can cause an injury, let's do like this. Just don't assume you know everything. Someone can give you an advice, another person can give you an advice. We know in Rwanda everyone is like another one's advisor.
Yes,
So
everyone
if
has
someone give you
an
an advice
opinion
on
about
preventing
everything.
injuries,
Yes.
just understand them and make an effort just to make sure that your home, everything is in a safe place that cannot harm another.
Okay,
Yeah.
thank you so much, Dr. Eric. This was a fantastic episode. Like, I've really enjoyed it. In all the episodes that I have hosted, this one has been very amazing. Thank you so much. And as we wrap up this episode, most of the medical students, this part is for medical students, but if you're not a medical student, you can also hear it. There is no harm. So most of the medical students are advised to go specialize in the orthopedic surgeons. You can go and do internal medicine. You can go into pediatrics, but you have chose to specialize more in domestic injuries. And there are small things or little things that are more influential, that are affecting people out there, that are causing very brutal injuries, like the case that you've told us, but they neglect them and choose to go in those big, those that are named the big fishes in the field. What can you advise them today?
My advice will be simple. We all want the same thing.
Yes.
We all want that people can have equitable healthcare services. We all want that everyone can live a safe life and healthy life. So no matter what you choose, if your intention is just making sure that you are improving the life of the people you live with or the people around the world, you are doing the right thing. It's normal. It's true. We will not like the same thing. I might feel like I'm interested in global health and I want global health. I might feel like I want my career in global surgery. It doesn't mean everyone can come in global surgery. No, no, no.
Yes.
If you feel like in internal medicine, that's where you will make a huge impact in the community. That's the right thing for you. If you think like going into orthopedic surgery, that's where you will make an impact in your community. That's the right choice for you. It's just you need to
know yourself.
You need to know yourself. You need to know yourself, and then you need to understand the needs of the people where you are,
Community.
and then choose where you think like you fit. During the medical training, every student you rotate in every department. First, for education, you need to know what's happening there. You need to know how people get diseases in that specific area, and you need to know how to help them. In Rwanda, we are in need of surgeons, obstetrician and gynecologists, emergency medicine physician, anesthesiologists. We are in need of those more than maybe dermatologists or more than internists.
Yes.
Maybe in internal medicine, you are in need of gastroenterologists, you are in need
More
of pulmonologists.
Yes.
Every country has the priorities, or depending on the need. It doesn't mean if you are not joining that specialty, which is among the needs, it doesn't mean you are doing you are not doing a good job. If you can make an impact in that, it's good. But it's better if we have a given number of surgeons, a given number of people who can give all those essential care. Okay. So the country also is not doing a bad job if it's requiring that join these specialties more than this. It's also to respond to the people's needs we have right now. That's why if you feel like you can help the country by joining all those specialties that needs more people, you are also doing the right thing. Yeah.
Exactly. Thank you so much, Dr. Eric. Thank you again for honoring our invite at Medwell Podcast. I was so happy to host you first of all, and hope even the viewers have learned a lot from you. And I have absolutely loved every bit of this episode, and I hope that you're also going to enjoy it. We have learned more on domestic injuries. Most of you who neglected it and think it's just a small thing that you can just take care of 1 minute or a second, some of them are critical, and you need to take action. What I can tell you right now, don't forget to share, like, subscribe, or leave a comment down below on Medwell Podcast. And you're going to learn more, get inspired, as you have heard from the guest of honor himself. And see you next time.
I also want to thank you for hosting my project.
Yes.
So also you helped me by doing the advocacy, by amplifying the voice as I aim to just raise awareness in different communities about the domestic injuries. I also thank you that you are helping me to achieve my mission. Okay. And I would also want the followers of this podcast, if you can also follow the pages of the project. They are called MyShake or MyShake Rwanda. MyShake means myself and health community, so that you can learn more, you can get more updates on how we'll be conducting this project and the different knowledge we'll be sharing with the communities. Yes. Thank you so much for hosting us.
You're welcome. We're also happy to be part of your project, actually. Yes. And we wish for it to succeed and impact most of the people in Rwanda, or even outside the country. Good luck.
Thank you.